No one asked for this. No one was on their knees begging, okay? You can be challenged outside of your mindset if you're like, not, if you're conservative, but like rarely, not trying to like be unbiblical or anything, just trying to make people not be homophobic. Curfew sucks. It is such a haven. I don't know, it's like your family basically. It's kind of put in a place where people can be surrounded by their own ideas. Am I asking for too much? No, I'm not. I'm really not. Welcome back to my channel. I decided to make a video that I just was curious about. I was like, what if I watched back my college decision video, which I talked a lot about choosing liberty in the school and everything, after a full year of being there. And so that's what I've decided to do today. I'm very much Liberty core today. We got the Liberty shirt. I was wearing it. I said, let's film today because why not? And am I wearing the beanie because my hair is old and I need to take it out? Maybe. Or maybe I'm just wearing it because of liberty, you know? Also got this is literally where I keep my Flames pass and stuff on this lanyard. I always keep it in my pocket or something. But yeah, we're just gonna hop right into it. It's gonna be an interesting video, hopefully. Okay, let's start. I'm watching on my computer right over here. She's loading for some reason. I don't know why, but let's go. They call it a PWI, which is a predominantly white institution. If there's not a lot of diversity somewhere. The dramatic music. Get that diversity. I'm not coming out here to bash Jerry Falwell, but feeling kind of a little bit like an outsider. Not allowed to wear shorts or sweatpants in class. I don't feel smart enough for college. I don't feel mature enough for college. I'm not. I feel like the stereotype of liberty is not true. That's true. I think that people are often like, oh, it's just a bunch of Trumpies, or it's like very, very Christian. But I think that's not true because it's a D1 school. So even like my parents think it's very sportsy. That's true. It's a huge school. And I feel like it's a perfect balance between, maybe not perfect, but there's a lot of schools that are like Christian, not really Christian, and then there's schools that are like borderline cult, and I feel like liberty's the medium, if that makes sense. Sounds bad, but it is a medium. Okay, I'm gonna pause there and I'm gonna do a little bit of a comment. Sorry about the beeping. People are coming in and out of the house. So I'm sure I'll speak on the politics a bit more later, but I know I briefly mentioned it there. Yeah, on the middle ground part, I would say it's not really, it's really more people who are like, I don't even care about politics, or I don't know how I believe. And then there's some people who know what they believe and they are middle ground. And then there's it's mostly conservative, which was shocking or just a little bit disappointing to me, because there's not that many middle ground people. It's more people who are like mostly conservative, or they're like conservative in some areas, moderate in other areas. I'm kind of like that, but I'm mostly moderate and independent. And there's mostly people who are just like, I don't even know like enough about politics to have an opinion. And those type of people are the people who are usually actually moderate and middle ground. But there's not a lot of people who will come out and be like, I'm liberal. I don't think I've met anyone besides like maybe my roommate. Like the school, it's pretty big and complicated, but I feel like I figured a lot of it out already. I didn't even talk about like the Center for Diversity, Inclusion, whatever. It's really important to have, they call it a PWI, which is a predominantly white institution. Really important to have, and I think they're really trying to expand and try to keep diversifying the school. Lots of different groups of minorities, and I think that's a really important program. It's just, I really like that, and I feel like you can find a little like haven in there and meet a lot of other people who kind of feel the same way that you do in some terms. Good to have, you know, your own community around you and meet and see other people, so it's really nice to have. I might end up talking about it again a little bit later in the video because I know there's 3 parts to this video, but she's so valid. She is so valid. ITE is inclusion, diversity, and equity, and it really is such a great place. It is such a haven. It is just like I don't know, it's like your family basically. By the time you graduate, like everyone you meet in IDE, everyone you know through IDE, the fellowship which I'm part of, which is like our scholars program thing, just all of that, you just meet, like some of my closest friends are part of IDE, and you just like, I don't know, it's just such a community and a vibe with your own people. And yes, the school is very much PWI, but I feel like when you're in those friendships, when you're in those environments, you almost forget. Okay, wait, no. You never forget. You never forget. But you feel at ease, you feel at peace. And like I said, like I didn't grow up. I grew up in PWI. I didn't grow up around a lot of Black people. So honestly, like I've had so much more of a diverse experience here at college than I ever had growing up. And I love it. I love it so much. And if you're worried about the community and diverse spaces at Liberty, once you get in there, everyone's so nice. Everyone's so nice. Once you meet your people, you will feel so at home. And don't worry about it. It's there. It's there, I promise. Beyond that, the school as in clubs, not necessarily the school itself, because Liberty has not put out that much effort for diversity, I'm not gonna lie. IDE has. The different clubs that we have, like ALAS, which is Association, I think it's like Association of Latino Students or something. It's the Hispanic club. And ASAD, which is the Association of Students of African Descent, they put on events. They do a lot. They really engage our like diverse student body. BCSA did first semester, which is Black Christian Student Organization or Association. Not as much second semester. I'm not really sure what's going on with them. The student clubs, student activities, sometimes they really try to put on events that are like cultural events, and IDE does an amazing job. And I will always love IDE since the first time I went there. So yeah, diversity. It's trying. It's trying. Not hard. The school, IDE, we love her. Stan IDE. So the next set of videos are when I announced on Instagram that I was going to Liberty, and those are kind of a little bit, because I'm trying to defend myself picking this school. So if it sounds a little aggressive, it is. School gets a lot of hate. Honestly, a lot of it's not true from what I've experienced and been there twice. So don't judge something that you haven't been to or understand. Valid. Or what people's stories of it are. A lot of them are expected to be perfect. You're going to go to school with people that you don't like and don't agree with wherever you go. And that technically is a good thing, because you should be challenging yourself and seeing, how do I relate to people that I don't agree with? Why do I not agree with? How can I convince them to believe in the rights that I believe in, Like, honestly, it's more diverse also, than probably anywhere that I've been, which is kind of sad, but I mean, it's fairly diverse. And I grew up with a lot of rules in schooling, so I mean, this is a lot looser than what I grew up. Okay, let's talk about that. Very much valid that what I talked about before in the diverse spaces. The only thing that I would say is that yes, you should challenge yourself to be with people that you don't agree with, but I don't think they are doing a good job of challenging themselves and being around people that they don't agree with. So a lot of these, like, I feel bad because it's like you can be challenged outside of your mindset if you're like not, if you're conservative, but like rarely it's kind of put in a place where people can be surrounded by their own ideas, because there's so many people who believe the way that they believe. And I don't think Liberty does a great job of bringing in other speakers of different beliefs and whatnot to help challenge us, because how are you going to know what you believe if you don't hear what you don't believe? You can't justify something if you don't know what other options there are. And people will be like, well, if they know this, they're going to doubt. Yeah, okay. People should be able to do their own research and form their own opinions, not based on what their parents tell them, not based on what society tells them. They should form their own opinions. That being said, it's not about Christian beliefs at all. Like, that's valid. But even when it comes to that, it is a little bit one-sided. Like, they did gospelology once, and that was great to have like gospel music and stuff. But they only did that during Black History Month, and they did it was great, like great combo. They talked about all the different like history behind it and went through the years and everything. Great, love that. But every other week you're doing CCM or whatever it's called. Love the songs, but like that's just one example of how you can diversify even within music. And that's an example that we had to do like a survey through IDE. We did like different questions and stuff with the people in the program, and my friend Marcel mentioned that like even at Coffee House, which is a talent show that we have, you have to have a band, and not all types of music use bands. He does rap. You can't just go up there because you don't have a band or backup instruments or people. I don't know. It's just like subtle things that are like they could do better on. Especially when it's like diversifying your speakers. Yes, they will have like a lot of Black or Hispanic or whatnot, different types of speakers, but they're all mostly one-sided. And then you have some people who are just even like saying hateful things in convo. It's like, even if you don't agree with someone, you don't have to be hateful and rude. There's been people who've made like rude comments on like Yik Yak on people, on Black speakers, making just like racist stuff. And it's like, what the hell? What the hell? Again, not disrespecting the school. I love that we are able to have the Black speakers, that we have different speakers, but they can do better. And there's always room for improvement. Like I said, no school is perfect. Liberty is not. All right, we're going into the last section. Again, I skipped over the college anxiety part because I don't really feel like it's relevant now, and I feel like it was kind of wrapped up in that video because I talked about how I overcame it. If you do have anxiety about college, watch the video. It explains a lot, and I think it's pretty helpful. At least it was helpful to me. I will put the video, don't know which side, probably this side, but it could be that side, in the cards. It will be in the cards. Now, obviously, with the school, everyone has all these different opinions, and people tend to see Jerry Falwell Jr. and be like, what was that? And think he's so crazy. A documentary came out that people don't even take a chance to look at his source, his father. I didn't watch the documentary, but it was crazy. I'm not here to bash Jerry Falwell, but just look it up. I'm not gonna say too much about him, but he was somehow for segregation in the early days, and not the college, but the private school was opened to further delay integration into the school. Obviously, Virginia was a southern state, so they were more, kind of sucks. Yeah. I wish the school hadn't been founded like that. It does. But just because the school was founded by a man like that does not mean that it is a bad school. So yeah, a documentary came out about the son. Crazy stuff. But on the father, they are opening a Jerry Falwell Center. They are constructing and opening a Jerry Falwell Center for the father. Apparently, it's going to be some huge thing with a lot of technology, basically a Jerry Falwell shrine or something like that. No, but that's what people are calling that. No one wants this. No one I have talked to has wanted this. This is a waste of money for someone that a lot of people don't even respect. Why are you doing this? Personally, if I was a university, I would use this lovely money that they somehow have to invest in more housing, because they don't put a cap on a cap on admissions, so there's a lot of people coming in. But more housing. Fix the old housing, don't change it, just upgrade it. Put washers and dryers in the quads, because East is apartment style and has washers and dryers, so they can put washers and dryers in the quads. There's a cabinet, they can put a stacked washer and dryer, it'll fit perfectly. There's a lot of storage there. It's not going to take away from anything. I literally did the math. It's not that much money to do compared to how much extra money they are spending on this Jerry Falwell Center that no one wants. There's a lot of places that money can go, even if it comes down to lowering tuition or food or housing or anything. Okay? No one needs this. No one asked for this. No one was on their knees begging. Okay? That's just my 2 cents, okay? This is true. It is 55%. Black, it's 10%. But it doesn't look like that. Latino, Asian, and I think the biggest percentage is like unknown or 2 or more races. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, it is the biggest school, so I guess that's what you'd expect. But it's a lot more diverse than what you'd think. And people are always like, it's just a bunch of white people. But it's not. I wasn't recording, my bad. Diversity is very important to show that, if there's not a lot of diversity somewhere, that means you're not putting a lot of effort to get that diversity, or that you don't want it. The graduation rate is pretty low, like scarily low, concerningly low. That probably has to do with the fact that they have a large percentage of online students. Like, I think 100,000 online students or more.
I think so,
obviously,
yeah.
Online students, some of them are only taking a few classes and then going somewhere else or transferring in.
I've never asked about it, but I know it's really low. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember what I just watched. We love ADHD. Oh, the graduation rate. Right. Okay, so the graduation rate is really low, and I think it is online students. I've never really asked. I don't know who to ask, but it's embarrassingly low. It's concerningly low. It probably has to do with the fact that our acceptance rate is 90-something%. Because we don't have a cap on admissions. Because we don't have a base GPA. You know, at least just have like 2.0. It's not that high, okay? I don't know. But I do know a lot of people leave because of money and skip a semester and come back. And then I know a lot of people who leave. Not that many people who leave, but some people leave, go to other schools. Some people want to play sports and they're not good enough for D1, so they go play sports at a D2 school. People transfer in, people transfer out. A lot of that. And again, it's not a huge majority. It's not to the fact that our graduation rate should be 29%. It doesn't make sense. We have a lot of people who graduate. But yeah, that's kind of what's happening.
School, they're gonna follow the Bible, and so that can make some students feel excluded, unfortunately. You know,
I don't know why I was so afraid to say LGBTQ students. That's it, unfortunately.
But there's no discrimination permitted or allowed towards those people. I think it just has to do with dating. But it still kind of sucks. I think they could do better, and I'd like to try to help.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because I got a lot to say. There are, for the most part, professors are not supposed to talk about. You know, there's things that professors aren't supposed to talk about. Gotta be careful. Unless you have a conspiracy theorist professor. I'm not gonna say who, but he said a lot of stuff that I was like, you're crazy. You're crazy. And I'm like, you're telling me, some people are absorbing this and thinking it's fact. He's talking about Infinity War and Endgame and saying how Thanos wanted to do population control and how the movie came out in 2019, which is before the pandemic, so it somehow has to do with. I said, no way. And no way. This man, he said, all these movies, they want to go woke. Okay, I'm just trying to watch some movies and get some credit, you know. Wow. Anyways, a lot of people do have strong feelings when it comes to inclusion, and I'm just gonna outright say it. There's a lot of homophobia. Okay, it is what it is. There are a lot of accepting people, really, for real. But yeah, not majority. It sucks. It really does. And no, I have not done much. I said I would like to try, but I have not done much. Not trying to like be unbiblical or anything. Just trying to make people not be homophobic. Okay, last one. I think
it's extremely necessary. I don't know. Like, I feel like obviously you should not be dressing too revealing, but like, come on, not allowed to wear shorts or sweatpants in class. Dress code only applies to class, so I don't really have a problem with that. But at the same time, shorts? Come on. It's August, September. People are gonna be hot.
Even April.
Oh my gosh, but you can wear like capris and stuff.
Capris.
You also only can wear like one-piece swimsuits or tankinis at the pool. The other thing was curfew, which
I'll talk about both of these.
Seriously, I think the curfew should at least be like 1 or 2 a.m. There should still be a curfew just to keep your students safe.
Yeah.
But yeah, like 1 or 2 a.m., not 12 a.m. And then like one day it's 10:30 because of they want people to be in Kim's community.
10.
I'm not a fan of that, and maybe one day they'll change it. I think even Cedarville has a
Please.
later
Dress code? I've broken dress code a lot, and I've never got caught. Yes, I'm admitting it. Cause, hear me out, Liberty Way. Hear me out, Liberty Way. Dress code only applies to where it applies. It does only apply to class, but it also depends on your professors, and it depends on your type of class. Everything kind of goes out the window in Green Hall. Green Hall is where all the art majors are, the theater majors, the digi majors. It's very chill. It's very relaxed. That's where all the cool people are. No, that's where all the people with style are. No, I'm kidding. Fashion design isn't a must, duh. For real, it's pretty chill. So yes, I have worn shorts to class in art classes. Yeah, sweatpants. I've worn sweatpants to class. It really is not that strict, actually, unless you are like a business major or someone who has something a little more serious like science. You will get, like, my friend wore a tank top to her lab, and they were like, don't do that. Things like science majors, math majors, business majors, law majors, nursing's very strict because they have to wear scrubs and whatnot. Those type of majors, yes, it's strict. Everything else, you should be okay in your classes. Also, divinity, higher up. But if you're just taking like your gen ed religion classes, you're fine. You should be fine. So yes, I have, but always in an appropriate way. It just matters on your teachers. It's not that strict. Curfew. Let's talk about curfew. Curfew sucks. I'm usually in my dorm room by curfew. But I still don't like it. I think it should be 1 a.m. That's solid. I think it should be 1 a.m. so that, like, you have more time. I think on Wednesday it should be 12, not 10 o'clock. You just want people in the dorm so that they can check in. Why not just have people check in and then do curfew later? You know, if people want to go to groups, if they want to check in and go to groups, then they're there to check in and go to groups. And if they want to check in and leave, they can check in and leave. But you don't have to stay in your dorm at 10. There's been times where I like needed to get schoolwork done or whatnot, and I had to stay in my dorm and then leave later on because you can't leave during groups. And I don't even go to groups most of the time. So yes, very annoying, very frustrating. I think it should be 1. I don't think we should have no curfew at all, but I think it should be 1. I think it should be 12 on Wednesdays, and I think it should be 1:30 on the weekends. Am I asking for too much? No, I'm not. I'm really not. Last one, for real.
He brings political people in, but he wants students to be very active in politics. And as they should, students should be active in politics, but it's just dangerous in that you might be swaying their vote.
I'm sorry, I'm tired.
I think you should vote based on what you think God's telling you to vote for. Make sure you're voting for biblical standards, but also make sure that you're not just voting for people and for parties.
Mm-hmm.
And this school is more conservative. I don't think it's only conservative, and there's multiple different political parties of students represented there.
Not
also,
that much.
They have politics there. They try to have
a little bit, but not that much.
Republican or conservative leaders.
That's cap.
But I think it leans that way.
It does.
I'm not going to disclose my political views, but
yes, I did.
Actually I am. I'm in the middle. And I'd like to see people not glaze over everything and try to not just go by party and go by issue and try to understand other people that are not as much like them. And how can we advocate for people while still being like Christ?
Yeah.
And then with COVID, I think only nurses.
COVID doesn't really matter at this point, so I'm going to stop it. Last section is why I still like school. I'm going to hear her out, and then I'm going to explain why I still like it after being there for a year.
Obviously, there's no perfect school, and I'm pretty happy with the school. I like the school, and I would like Christian schools because I feel like it's safer, and there's downsides to it, but there's downsides in every school. I was going to go into, like, people were talking about how when you go to parties or something, if there's any assaults made or something and I forgot about this. Sometimes the people who are victims get penalized for drinking because they've broken the Liberty Way, even though they also should be fighting for the person who hurt them. And I think that's a law that Liberty needs to change. Like, yeah, the students aren't allowed to drink, but if they got hurt, if they got physically harmed in trauma, you should be talking to the person who hurt them and not the victim. And as long as they know they broke the rule and shouldn't do it again, they shouldn't be punished for it. The other people should be punished. That's it. I'm done with my rant, okay? I still like the school, and I'm excited. I'm nervous, but I'm excited.
Okay, so why do I still like the school? The people. I love the friends, I love the community, I love IDE, I love Assad, I love Alas. I just love the people, the community within the POC community in this lovely POWI is so amazing. The party thing and everything that I talked about with that, I don't know how that's going now. I think it's settled down. And there was only like a few cases of that happening, but in terms of that, yes, people can still get caught, but I not on like the other thing. I don't think so. I haven't heard anything about in terms of like SA and drinking getting ignored. We've had in situations where people were like touching people and stuff, and there were reports sent out across the school, and they were very like careful on that and being like, hey, we take this very seriously. So in terms of that, I think they're doing a good job. I don't know. Based on my observation, I think they're doing a great job. I haven't heard anything in terms of that going sideways. I think they're doing a good job on it. Based on my observation, based on my knowledge. Everything else, yeah. If it wasn't for like my IDE and just the community and having like Assad and all the events and stuff, I don't know how connected I would be as much. But yeah, I still like the food, the art, and the architecture is beautiful. I said food, I meant the school. The architecture in the school is beautiful. I love my major. I love my department. I love my professors in my major. Shout out Professor Garcia and Professor Leo. Goats. I really do love my major and my department and whatnot at the school, and I feel like I'm really connected already. I've had the same professor for going on 3 semesters now, and I really love that. I'm learning a lot. I'm enjoying it, and I think they're doing a really good job. So in terms of the school, I like my major, I like IDE, I like the clubs, I like my friends, I like the community. I also love CampCom. I love CampCom. CampCom is just an opportunity where we're able to like gather and worship and have good messages taught that don't have any like political or social gain tied to them, as Combo sometimes does, because it's not political. It's just speakers. It's just people who actually care about their faith. And so I do like CampCom as well. So student activities, they do their thing. They bust down. They throw really good events. Other than that, that's what I like about the school. And sports. I love sports. I watched almost every football game. I've watched almost every basketball game. I've watched almost every volleyball game. I went to one track meet only for a little bit because I have friends on track, and I wanted to see, and I'd never been to a track meet, so I decided to go. But yeah, I enjoy sports. I've never been to a hockey game, but we'll get there next semester. That's what I like about the school. If I have anything else, I'll insert it. But I still love this school. I think the goods outweigh the bads, even though there's a lot of stuff that just makes you want to scream. But it's still a good school. It's still a good school. Trust me, when I say it, after all that I've said, it's still a good school. I really hope it hasn't seemed like I've come out here to bash this school. That's what I'm trying to make sure y'all know. I do like the school. You know, I'm not transferring. I'm not changing. I like it here. I am going somewhere else for grad school if I could go to grad school. That also has to do with the fact that they literally don't have my major as a graduate major. But also just want to get out, go somewhere else, try something new. But yeah, I really hope you've heard me out. And I don't know, it's been cool. It's been really cool. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you really do have an amazing day. I hope this doesn't sway anyone's decisions too much. I hope that you understand where I'm coming from. And if Liberty sees this, mind your business. Mind your business. But also, take my advice. I speak for multiple people on certain things, like the Fallwells Center and laundry rooms in the quads and speakers. Anyways, I hope you have an amazing day. I hope that you remember that you're loved. And if you want to check out my experience on the daily, I have vlogs. I vlogged all fall semester, all spring semester, and spring semester ones are still coming out because I'm incredibly behind. But all of fall semester's up, and you can see some of the things that I went through in real time. See my friends, see our fun, quirky little things that we do. It'll be in the cards, and you can just click on my channel, and you can see them all there in chronological order. And I really love editing them and spend time on them. So if you want to check it out, check it out. But yeah, really have an amazing day. I love you so much. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit all the buttons down below. Really help push my video out into the algorithm and let them know that you like my content and you want to see more of it. And also share. Sharing, copying link, all that helps. Really appreciate it. Have an amazing day. For real. For real. I'm done. I'm gone. Goodbye. Have an amazing day. So, because we're not talking about me. I'm good. I'm solid. This is on me. Let me skip. I still haven't gotten diagnosed yet, but nothing wrong with my white friends. I love my white friends. Yes, Grandma. And also she fell off. What? Yeah, something's on my wall. Anyways, hair looks good in here. Controversial and not great things. My hair. How long it takes you to graduate? So, I'm pretty sure. Like, what? What did I just talk about? I don't remember. Okay, it went with the fit. Okay. Also, it was my only class. You know what? I don't have to explain myself. I have had some friends who, you know what? I'm not even gonna say anything because I'm not gonna throw people under the bus. Comment. Did I say that? I said comment. That's the end of my rant. Yay.